My name's Guy Kestevan. I've been a professional biking kit tester for over 25 years. And for the next 2 days, I'm riding the brand new, specialised Levo SL S-Works. And as you can see, we're out in the stunning trails of Snowdonia with guys from Wheelism and MTB Beds guiding us. And we're gonna explore the new, more capable build of this new SL. So, more travel, you got 160, 150 mil of travel now. You've got a lot longer reach, 470 on this S4 side. You've got piggyback 12X shock for the sending and the long descents, and you've basically got the same geometry adjust system on the headset and on the flip chip and the shock chip as the Stunt Jumper Evo. And this is really interesting because this is the same sections of trail as I rode yesterday on the Fuel EXE, and just like that bike, it kind of typifies the fact that mid-travel e-bikes, even these lightweight ones, are actually fully capable trail bikes now. You know, you're getting a T9 butcher on the front, proper sticky rubber on there. You're getting, like I say, that big piggyback shock. This is a full sender, and the geometry is a match for that build performance as well. So default setup, 64.5 degree head angle, but it can take that a degree either way with headset adjustment, and then a half a degree with the flip chip if you want, can't you, G?
Flip chip? In which bit?
Both.
You can do the bottom bracket by 5 mil, or you can do the back, which will enable you to put 29 in.
15 mil. So, well, primarily, this is a natural day out. There are a few berms at Cody Brennan, little jump lines, and I have to say, they're really good at showcasing the fact that they've deliberately built some pop and play into this bike. It's not just a total ground hugger. He likes to get his back end out. It's the other thing they've done, which kind of underlines the fact it's designed as a play bike as much as a performance and efficiency bike. It's the fact that it's rolling a mullet back wheel. But while it's got a lot heavier in terms of equipment and longer, the impressive thing is the bike's still exactly the same weight as it was before. This S-Works still 17.6 kilos in this S4 size, so they've clearly done a lot of work in the frame, and that's obvious in the structure as well. You've got no longer got that side arm, side strut that they introduced on the demo. You've got a much more conventional looking frame set. So still got the same stiffness, but in a lighter weight frame. And that new frame structure is primarily to give them more options with where they put the shock and what shocks they can run. So all these bikes get a piggyback shock now, and you can expect it to be rolled out across all the specialised models in future. And also, very interestingly, this is the first bike to use specialised new kinematic. So it's more linear, more support at the start, more anti-squat, and just generally more sort of pedal responsive setup. I really feel that in the pedaling. I have to say, I definitely approve. And as well as the new kinematic, you've got a brand new motor as well. So new casing, you got a two-piece casing honeycomb structure to keep the weight down. And chatting to Buck from Specialized last night, who's kind of lead engineer on all the turbo bikes, that was the hardest part actually, was keeping the noise down, because they got competition from guys like TQ now, who are producing really quiet motors. They know they've got to put game on, and it's also a lot more powerful than the old motor. So 50 Newton meters, 43% more power than the old motor. So 320 watts peak torque as well. So I've just got to concentrate. So they said this is a challenge climb, and definitely feels like there's a lot more support than the old bike, even in eco mode. And you got a slightly bigger battery as well, so you got 320 watt hour capacity on that. So you're getting decent range out of it still. Plus, you've still got 160 watt hour range extender battery option, and that actually comes standard on the S-Works, which is a nice little bonus, because that's not a cheap edition. Can't remember the exact price, but certainly a nice bonus to get that free. And the only other difference is all the frames use the same Fact 11M frame otherwise, is that you get a carbon rocker link on there. So a carbon driver link, it saves 60 grams. And the reason they've gone for a much heavier build than the previous SL is because that's where the feedback they got from nearly all the riders was. You know, it used to come with a 34 fork, lighter kit, but everyone started wanting a 36 because they thought, you know, it's such a capable bike in terms of suspension. Why wouldn't you want something that can really let you enjoy it? And I can actually remember riding that original SL down this very trail, Abel at Cody Brennan, thinking, yeah, this could do with a bit more heft in it. So fair play to Specialized, although I would like to see how light a bike you could make, or just something with faster rolling tyres, because you can feel, I mean, although the grip is super welcome compared to the tyres I was riding yesterday, you know, you can definitely feel there's more stick and drag on this T9 rubber up front. So there is potential for a faster bike. Got to say, I'm very impressed with how quiet the motor is. I mean, only an eco still, but I'm really liking that new pedal feel as well. Just doesn't seem to take the nose off the pedal stroke like older FSR feel did. And there's very quick pickup on the motor as well, so it's a really nice setup to climb with. You got steeper seat angle as well, pushes you forwards, easier position. I mean, it's not going to give you, you know, superhuman powers, but definitely makes life a lot easier on extended climbs. And to be fair, not having a ton of peak torque makes it much easier to keep traction on sections like this, where you'd otherwise be in danger of spinning the rear wheel. This feels much more natural, controllable and consistent, and doesn't feel that different in eco. It's coming up here on the TQ yesterday in the medium power mode. Should probably have matched it actually to get a true feeling, but going a long way today, so trying to max out the range. But so far, so good. And the good news is, if you come into Cody Brennan, Joe and the guys at Bikes Brennan Bike Shop are going to have a full demo fleet of these Levo's SLs for you to test. So you don't just have to take my word for it, but it's a brilliant bike to ride around these trails. You can come out and try it yourself. I have to say, just that mix of agility and capability really does work super well around these trails. Yeah, it's pretty much made for a modern trail mountain bike now. Hey! And in fact, you've got those big code rotors, those big new code brakes, full stealth routing on them, 200mm rotors. You've got loads of braking power. So when you get a bit too sendy, you've got plenty of control there to bring it back. Phew! Like that. And that 36 factory. It's factory all round, 36 factory front, DHX rear, all the golden goodness on this S-Works. Proper, no hold barred spec on this one. And those Roval carbon wheels, not only are they pretty light, they've got a really nice damped feel to them. And the current generation of Specialized tyres is absolutely cracking. So you've got a Butcher on the front, because they were that T9 compound giving you a ton of grip. Then you got Eliminator and T7 on the back, just to eke out a bit more pedaling and motor and rolling. Well, any sort of speed really, just rolls a bit quicker. That's what I'm trying to say. Phew! Ah, it's a beauty. And to give you an idea of the difference in noise levels, start there on the old SL. Definitely a lot more audible than the new one. And the other good news is, still pedals pretty well, motor off. I have to say, having that extra climbing power to get out into truly wild spots like this is pretty damn convenient. Phew! Lunchtime. And the other thing you've got on this S-Works is the new SRAM T-type transmission, so got no worries about changing down under power. And I've obviously done a full video on that, which you can watch at your leisure, but suffice to say, it is proper next level kit when it comes to transmission sophistication. And it kind of jibes with the, and this is a tough bike now. Like the motor's IP67 waterproofed. You've got some nice little gussets protecting the lower bearings. You've got full chainstay guard on there as well. And the tune that Spesh I've put into this Float X kind of really helps with the control as well. It doesn't feel as baggy in the mid-stroke as these shocks can do. Feels like it's supporting a bit more. And having that T9 really helped me. Did slide a bit there, but you know, it's a nice sticky tyre for these conditions. It really helps. And again, just having the mullet on the back end means you can swing that back end around a bit tighter. Fair play, Snowdonia. That's bloody beautiful. And I have to say, these Welsh off-piste trails are proper thick too. You say you're getting great guiding from the guys at Wheelism and MTB Beds, giving us some backcountry loosely wrapped around the Cody Brennan Boost Trail. And the other thing is, this bike feels sweet off the motor as well. It's light enough and responsive enough through the pedals. It feels like you can proper hustle it. Even up short climbs like this. So that's one way you can massage the battery life, because it's interesting how much battery life people have got. Done 27 miles now, about 2 hours odd riding. I think I'm still on about 60%, but the guys who've been using more motor, yeah, they're finding the climbs easier for sure, but they're on like 30%, 20% now. As occasionally feed you forwards a little bit. That new kinematic, it's not as completely kind of fluid and super neutral as the old FSR feel, you know, which is what you'd expect. So it has got more anti-squat, but hey, oh, this feels sick. But hey, I have to say, it's great having that extra confidence. Just send it, lean it, and let it go. You mind those bars? Luckily these dirty bars aren't super wide. This 36 up front just feels awesome as usual. Really brings home how good it is over the smaller pat stuff compared to contemporary lyric. A lot less spiking than the Quokka rode yesterday. Okay, so get your knee in, get it banked around, pass. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned John already, but yeah, you can turn it from 64.5, where it sits now, 65.5. I think the extremes are 66 and 63. If you really want to go to town with the headset and all the chips, but such a great feeling setup. And super versatile as well, but in a genuinely trail usable way, because you can make those switches if you've got the cups. You can make those switches on the trail. Don't need a headset press or anything like that.
So that's day one done, off piste, and a ton of the trail centre trails around Cody Brennan, 37k, roughly 1100 meters, battery life ranges. I've got 51% left because I was using meat power for the second half of the ride, but some people are down to like 9%. A couple of guys are on it. But what's interesting, the guys who are with us on full fat Levos used about the same amount of battery, and we all went around as a group, fine. But pub, recharge, day 2 tomorrow. More radical stuff over in Dovey Forest to really put this bike on its limits. So, day 2, Levo SL launch. We're up in Dovey Forest. Just taking some photos. Got my full Loic Bruni Enduro kit on. These things are apparently gonna get spicy. And the big difference today is that we've flipped that chainstay chip around, so I can run 29 a rear wheel to match the front. So taking a few clicks of rebound off to compensate for the heavier unsprung weight. And yeah, I mean, it should be more stable, but it's just fallen over, so who knows.
So now we're dropping into Stegosaurus, and I've already noticed coming up here the bike rolls noticeably quicker with the 29 back wheel, as you'd expect, and already on this section it doesn't feel like it's kind of dragging and sticking as much as it was yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes over the slap base sections. A proper bit of wild Wales this. Back of Dovey Forest. Oh, I like in the way this feels actually. Woo! It feels like it can make better use of that rearward axle path now. Oh yeah. A bit smoother when it's properly slamming now. Oh. Whoop. Try not to collect Steve. Ah, this must be why it's called Stegosaurus, I'm guessing. Oh, that was sick. Boom.
That was
How's that slacker head angle working out for you, Benji? Benji put the 63 in last night. So that was the mod he made. I went for the bigger wheels. That's working out as you'd expect. A bit more stability.
yeah.
The one thing I kind of forgot to say is that the basic real win with this bike is I'm not riding it like an e-bike, just riding it like a really sorted trail bike. You know, there's no worries about excess weight or it pushing on in corners. It's just totally balanced. And it definitely feels like I'm getting a smoother roll up as well, even though the wheel is actually heavier because we just had an alloy 29er wheel to switch in. It's not carbon. Actually feels more sporty. And the other thing, it's the first time I've used trail. It feels great. Feels like there's a lot of power. You know, having ridden the TQ recently, definitely feels like 1.2 motor has got more grunt than the TQ. That kind of gets overwhelmed by sections like this when you go full torque. You alright there, love?
Yeah.
Too much torque, mate. Whereas this is really usable. It just erases all that fatigue without feeling like a top heavy, hard to handle e-bike on the fun stuff. And that's before I've even stuck it in turbo. So there's plenty of headroom in terms of horsepower to go at yet. I really don't feel I need it. And again, that slightly more rearward axle path, more anti-squat, kind of gives you better involvement with the rear wheel for judging and juggling traction as well. It doesn't feel like when you hit stuff you just squash down into it. This is a really, really good package. I mean, crazy expensive, yeah, but you know, George is riding the comp. She doesn't seem to be having a much worse experience than us on a bike that's basically half the price. She's having an absolute blast as well. Only thing I would say, a steeper seat angle wouldn't go amiss. Quite like that on some of the steeper sections. Oh yes. Funny, at lower speeds you can feel that just hook a little bit more. It slaps a little bit more. You feel pulls back through your feet a bit more, obviously because of the anti-squat. But once you start it rolling, definitely takes those bigger hits better. And one thing that I haven't talked about yet is this TCU2 unit down on the top tube here. Not the biggest anymore, it's not as big as the one on the Trek, but really nicely, clearly displayed information. You've got various screens to toggle through as well. And those are all customizable through the mission control app. And then on the bar there, you've got your plus and minus button for the modes, and then that's your display control button there. Oh, turbo's spicy. I've not even tried that yet. Trail's been more than enough. Oh, I was glad I looked up then. Again, it's just a really handy bike, you know, there's no lurching and lumbering around like it's a heavyweight e-bike. Because it's not. Hey, dropping in again. This Fox 36 feeling great on the front here. You know, old bike had the 34. This is definitely the better way to keep your front wheel controlled down here. Yeah, like I say, I'm surprised. because this should have been the day where I should have been regretting putting it on 29s, but actually feels totally fine. Both wheels the same size, because you know that flip chip means literally geometry doesn't change at all. It's exactly the same. But even so, you can flick that rear end round really nicely.
Lovely. Well done, Ken.
And then you've just got that Levo. Nice one, G. And you've just got that little bit of Levo power there to get you through a little soggy bits. But no, but you know, there's no overboost or anything weird happening to catch you out at other times. It's just a really nice, cheers up, uninterrupted. Oh, yellow. But the bottom line is, while I'm not super comfortable riding trails like this bike is totally fine. Well then, it's no surprise, really, because this is basically a stump jumper Evo in terms of shape, versatility, control, and that same huge range of completely bike changing geometry adjustment, plus more sorted, powerful pedaling architecture, but with the added bonus of really usable but super stealthy power in a bike that only weighs a kilo more than the Alloy Stumpy Evo. Although, to be fair, you are talking almost 10 grand difference in price. Plus, while that 13k price of this S-Works is almost as steep as these ridiculous trails here in W Forest, it's actually not out of kilter with other top-end e-bikes. Oh, hello. Tyre full of crap. Crap. Yeah, you left me for dead there, lover. One thing I've not talked about is that Specialized have probably the best customer service reputation for sorting people out, especially on e-brakes. And that is worth an absolute fortune when it comes to getting the best out of your investment and just everything about it. Like I said, adjustability, versatility, motor, battery, the integration, the electronics, the app, the pretty much flawless spec. But it would be if it came as a 29er, in my opinion. If I had to pick an assisted trail bike for every sort of riding I do, this new turbo Levo SL would be the one right now. It really is that good. This bike is definitely set to make a serious splash when it launches, and it looks like I'm gonna as well. Sorry, that was a dreadful pun. So there we go, that's day 2 of the Specialized Turbo Levo SL S-Works. Press launch done in these slippery steep trails of Dovey Forest. God knows what I've chatted on about to the camera today, so I've got a lot of editing to piece something together. It might be that I put a short edit onto standard YouTube and then do a full-length edit on Patreon, which is my subscriber page, and those guys get extended, early and exclusive edits, and they also get them ad-free, and their names are scrolling up now. So if you'd like to support me on there, that would be bloody marvellous. But massive thanks to everyone from Specialized UK for sorting out this press trip. Thanks to the guys for Wheelism and MTB Beds for guiding. Thanks for Old School MTB for the accommodation. Massive thanks to Giro Cycling UK sponsoring the channel, along with Peaty's,
Torq Hebtroco Crud XL Fenders and Enduro bearings. And it really has been a couple of excellent days to fully test out the potential of this bike. I think, to be honest, I got the wheel choice a bit the wrong way round. That full 29er I think would have worked better on the first day because it certainly feels smoother, it takes the bigger hits over the rocky stuff better. Whereas the way it comes in the default mullet setup would be better for these slippery kind of snaky, super steep descents. The guys on the mullets were loving that today. But yeah, the whole bike, incredibly capable, but also with a really, really useful amount of power boost, useful battery range, really quiet and unobtrusive until you need that extra bit of power and just to get more runs in and to get you through the sticky sections. So, and while this is the hyper expensive S-Works version, there's also a Comp Carbon version which delivers basically all the same performance in basically a half price package. But for now, I've been Guy Kesteven on Guy Kes TV, riding the specialised Turbo Levo SL S-Works, a proper rechargeable charger of a state-of-the-art trail e-bike.